going live on YouTube. Wow. Okay. Let me tell you, I am so ready to take a nap. Anyway, I wanted to come on here and speak about the amazingness that is infrastructure and about what I've realized a lot of artists tend to not know as music artists. I want to wait and see if anyone will come in here because this is my first live ever. But that's exciting. That's so exciting. I'm so excited. Oh man, this is really cool. I used to go live on Facebook all the time. And I gotta get back into it. I gotta get back into that. It says something about like I get 25 people, I guess, that could come on here and watch me, and I don't know. I think I gotta get to 1,000 subscribers before I can have more than that. I have no idea. But anyway, so let's get into it. So basically, one of the things, so I actually went live on Instagram. If you're on Instagram, you should definitely follow me there at Instagram if you have yet to follow me. And by the way, my name is Remedy, and I am a music artist and pretty much live experience architect or live performance architect. I love making music. I always have. I have been making music since the beginning of time. The only thing is that, I realized that most of the time I hadn't been doing the music right, right? So here I am at 42, not necessarily realizing this now, but I'm ready to execute. This year I left the job that I had as a full-time educator because I was at a place where I really could not do it anymore. I love my students. My students were amazing. My students are amazing. But, it got to the point where it was like I had to choose myself. Plus, it was getting to the point where I felt like God was saying to me, you need to leave and do what I have envisioned and showed you to do. And I felt like it was getting to a point where I was being obedient and I was listening to others more than I was myself and the message that I was receiving from God. Anyway, fast forward, here we are. And as I think about like the past of like all these years being in the industry, there was a lot of things that I didn't have in place because one thing I noticed, like most artists, is that we do not realize that there is a business behind the music, and of course, a lot of artists, just by default, this is our state of being. Like we are artists, we are creatives, we are creators, and so we naturally are just who we are. You know what I'm saying? Just la creating, doing our thing, unless and until someone teaches us, like, hey, you're a business and your gift should be monetizing for you. This talent that you have should monetize for you. And so a lot of times we walk around as with like a badge of honor of being a starving artist, and it's like, no, that's not a thing. And even not even having a badge of honor, having a badge of very, very frustrated, a lot of frustration for, giving so much of yourself with little reciprocation in return. And it's just very interesting, that whole process. But that is the reality for a lot of artists, you know. And after having done this for so long, especially now having left the old job to now focus on my career full time, and I've had periods of being able to focus on it, but not at a high level, and certainly without without doing it properly, like making sure I had the proper infrastructure. And so one thing for sure is that artists have to know is that, this business is all about ownership, making sure that you own the rights to your music, that your music is properly registered, that you are affiliated with a pro, which is a performing arts organization, that you copyright, your material, that you trademark your brand, you protect your brand, and that you understand the longevity of this versus, the moment, the now, or just playing and having this as a hobby. I remember when I was beginning to come into the understanding of this, I had paid quite a few attorneys and not necessarily, I'm gonna say quite a few, but I paid some attorneys to give me some information on this music industry to help me drop contracts and things of that sort, and just like consult with me. And I remember talking to an artist who, I mean, just really resisted me as I was learning this information and teaching them like why it was so important. It was just like they just resisted, like, no, no, I just want to make my music. I don't want to. And I get it, you don't want to be in a matrix and all that stuff, but it's like, but at the same time, you'll be very upset if someone came and took your material because you know what I'm saying. Now you're livid, and you have no protection because you wasn't doing what you were supposed to do. So that's one of the things that I found, like artists have to really understand the ownership behind their music. And I already talked about, just making sure your stuff is registered and your trademarking, your brand. These things are like so important. And I want to see more artists understand the importance of that. And so like I recently rolled out an album. It's called Juno the Late Bloomer. And as much as I want to put it on this platform, because YouTube for me is my number one, like I love YouTube. Like YouTube is amazing to me, and I use that's my preferred way of listening to music. To watching podcasts, listening to podcasts. Uh, in the rare occasions that I do watch movies, I love movies, but as I've gotten older, I don't really watch movies and TV shows as much as I used to. It has to be very good for me to do it. Excuse me. Like I told y'all, I'm a little sleepy. I'm ready to lay it down for the night. But yeah, like anyway, kind of lost my train of thought. But yeah, this is my preferred way of listening to or just being entertained and learning and all that stuff. This is my preferred way. And so as much as I love this platform, we have decided to first of all do an exclusive release on Bandcamp, which is direct to consumer. And that's another thing. Oh, one other thing I want artists to really understand too is that there are two parts of the song, and more on that later, but there's two parts of the song. You have your publishing side and then you have your sound recording side. But yeah, like we've decided to release this album direct to consumer, which means not on the streaming platform, but direct on. And honestly, I chose Bandcamp because I don't have to have a middleman per se, because the music could be on my website. But I chose Bandcamp because it's a reputable name and people may feel more comfortable purchasing the album there, and that's why I did that. But also it allows you to stream the album as well, which is cool. At first I was kind of a little against it, but I like the fact that you get to kind of sample out the album, and then if you want to support the artist direct, then you can support the artist. What y'all have to understand, and now this is for the listener, and even some artists must understand this. It's like when an artist releases music on a streaming platform, they're only receiving literally less than a cent, way less than a cent of their money for every stream. Or for every stream, they're receiving like 0.0000 like three. It's like it's very nominal amount. And so unless you have a extremely huge following that's streaming your stuff all the time, you're really not generating a lot of money. And then you don't see it immediately. You have to wait every quarter before you can get the accumulation of that quarter and what you made in that quarter. Whereas, if art is appreciated as art should be appreciated, then all right, cool. You are making sure that you support the artist by purchasing that piece of art that they took and gave everything to and invested in themselves, and invested in equipment and invested in tools and all these things so that you can be able to enjoy it. And I feel like it's only right to reciprocate to your artists, the ones that you love, like spend money on them. And I feel like most artists, all artists really should have this direct to consumer platform or business model, because in that way then it's like, we can help y'all to understand, like, no, this is the best way. Like, we could all touch and agree. We can help y'all to understand, and artists, we can help each other understand the value in our work and why this is so important. So anyway, I released Juno the Late Bloomer because I have a lot of thoughts around that. And I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna be talking a lot about that in these days. But Juno the Late Bloomer is out, and with Juno the Late Bloomer, I have chosen to use the direct to consumer model, business model. We're gonna release it on streaming sites and of course my dear YouTube later on. But right now, the way that we've chose to do it is direct to consumer, which means you buy and I receive your money right away. It does take out, like some taxes and a small share for Bandcamp, but otherwise, like, I get the rest. Like, everything comes straight to me, and I'm talking about immediately. You know what I'm saying? Within 24 to 48 hours, I see the gifts of my labor, the fruits of my labor, and the gifts that you have given to me. And so I want to send you over to findyourremedy.bandcamp.com so that you can check that out and stream the album. Listen to it. The album is $20. We had it on sale for $11.11. If you are on my mailing list, I sent out an email today, and there's a discount for this beautiful Easter weekend and Good Friday. And so you can definitely check your email so that you can find the code that you can use and get your album. It's not the discount won't take you to 11.11 anymore, but it'll take you to $12, which is still better than 20. And if you're not yet on my mailing list, you definitely want to make sure that you're on the mailing list so that you can start receiving the emails and exclusive access that you are not going to get here or anywhere else for that matter, other than directly from the source. I want to make sure that those who support me, those who are a fan of my work, are able to stay in contact with me, because I want to make it also clear, back to what I was saying when I say ownership. We as artists do not own these platforms, right? But we do have rights to our website, right? So by you joining the mailing list, this is artist to artist or fan supporter to artist. When you join the mailing list, then now we have access to your information. Now we are able to connect with you, even if all of these different platforms were to just completely disappear. We still have access to you, and we still are able to communicate with you, right? And provide you with the work that we're doing and insights and etc. So anyway, with that being said, please go to findyourremedy.bandcamp.com. Check out the album, and if you love it, and if you're one of those individuals, like one of my students said to me, one of my students from, when I was working, she said to me, Miss Rim, I love, that's what they call me. Even the girls of my, the youth organization in which I'm the founder of, they all like to call me Miss Rim, short for Remedy. But she goes to me, sorry, there's like a little, I gotta open my door. I'm about to get out of this car. But anyway, she says to me, Miss Rim, I love commissioning artists. I love commissioning artists. And I said, I love people like you. You know what I'm saying? Like, people who understand the importance of art and understand the importance of why you should support and commission the art. You know what I'm saying? Support the art. Support the art. Support the album that I have dropped. Again, it's called Juno the Late Bloomer. Findyourremedy.bandcamp.com. And you can also go to the link in my bio and check it out there. I know some of y'all might be looking for that album here. Like, where is Juno the Late Bloomer? No, it's exclusive to Bandcamp, but it will come here soon because I love it. This is how I consume music, so I'm definitely gonna make sure it's there. But anyway, to avoid making this video any longer than it already is, I will talk to y'all soon. Findyourremedy.bandcamp.com or check the link in the bio. Y'all be easy. Lots of love. Remedy. Peace. How do I even get out of here? Peace, y'all.